Hello everyone, welcome to your guide for getting started with SQL. If you've ever wondered how apps seem to magically handle huge amounts of information, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's dive in. First up, let's talk about why we even need something like SQL. So, imagine trying to find one specific person's phone number in a giant, messy text file with thousands of contacts. It's chaotic, it's slow, it's just inefficient, right? Now picture a perfectly organized digital filing cabinet where everything has its own specific place. That is the fundamental difference between just having a pile of unorganized data and having a truly structured database. It's all about creating speed and order.
So, what do we actually call this digital filing cabinet? Well, the technical term is a relational database. It's a system designed from the ground up to store and manage information in a superstructured way, using tables made up of rows and columns. And the relational part is the key. It means these different tables can be linked to each other. That's what turns a simple list into a powerful, interconnected network of information.
Okay, so we have this powerful, organized structure. But how do we actually talk to it? How do we ask it questions or tell it to store new information? For that, we're going to need a translator.
And that special language is SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and it's pretty much the universal standard for communicating with databases. It doesn't matter if you're building a new table, searching for some data, or making a change, you're going to use SQL to tell the database precisely what you want it to do.
And what will you be telling it to do? Well, almost everything you'll ever do with a database boils down to 4 main operations. We have a handy acronym for them, CRUD. You'll learn how to create new data using the insert command, how to read existing data with select, how to update information with, yep, you guessed it, the update command, and finally, how to delete data. Mastering these 4 operations is really the foundation of managing data.
Now here's a really important piece of advice to keep in mind as you get started. When you're using commands like update or delete, there's a classic beginner's mistake that can cause some serious problems. Forgetting what's called the where clause. You can think of the where clause as your safety net. It tells the database exactly which records you want to change. If you forget it, you might accidentally update or delete your entire table. Don't worry, this tutorial will make sure you get this right from the start.
Okay, so you've got an idea of what you'll be learning, but what about how you'll learn it? This tutorial is designed to give you a really clear, structured path to follow.
So, what does that learning journey actually look like?
We've laid out a simple 4-step roadmap for you. First, you're going to install a tool called SQLite. Second, you'll work your way through the 12 core tutorial files one by one. Third, you'll put what you've learned into practice with some exercises. And finally, you'll get to apply all your new skills by exploring some project ideas.
That's the big picture. Now let's zoom in and talk about the exact first steps you need to take to get started, right now.
Your very first step is to clone the teacher's repository using the link you've been given. This one action downloads everything you need, all the guides, the lessons, the exercises, and puts it right on your computer. Once you've got all the files, your next task is to set up your workspace. So step 2 is to find the setup guide in those files and just follow the instructions. This guide will walk you through installing SQLite, which is the database tool we'll be using. This is a really crucial step to make sure everything is ready to go. And once your tools are installed, you are all set. Step 3 is as simple as it gets. Open the very first lesson, called Introduction to Databases, and just begin. The path is all laid out for you from there. So, why is all this so important? Well, because you're not just learning a few random commands. You're building a foundational skill that is essential for pretty much any kind of software development you might do in the future. By the time you finish this tutorial, you're going to have some really solid practical skills. You'll actually understand the core principles about databases work, you'll have mastered those essential CRUD commands, and you'll have built a foundation that's going to be incredibly valuable for all your future software projects. So, you now have the map for your journey. The path is clear and it's structured to help you succeed. The only question left is, are you ready to take that first step?